So many people think pre-internet. You know, this whole idea of that you have to get a job and hopefully earn enough money is a broken system, not just from a financial level, but also from a perspective of living your best life. So it was literally 9 years ago to the month when I first spoke about, you know, online business and how I was able to break free from my corporate job and work for myself online. And I've got to tell you this story, how I actually ended up speaking to over 500 people the first time I'd ever spoken. So I had actually uploaded a couple of videos to YouTube, and YouTube was a really new thing then. And I had put on a couple of videos on YouTube talking about how I was doing affiliate marketing and how I was able to do affiliate marketing and quit my job. I was promoting a lot of digital products and online courses. I was promoting products in the dating niche. I then was promoting e-cigarettes. That was like the first physical product that I was an affiliate for. It was all very new back then. And this guy reached out to me, he sent me an email, Chris, and he said, you know, he's running an event in London. I think it was called the UK Internet Millionaire Summit or something. He said, I've seen your videos, would you like to come and talk at the event? And so we ended up arranging a call. I had a chat with him and he said, look, it's a really good opportunity because there's going to be a lot of people here that want to learn what you're doing, and you know, I suggest that you offer something like a workshop and you actually do a training. And so, cutting a very long story short, got everything set up, and on the day of the event, my nerves start kicking in big time. I'm on my way and I end up pulling in, and I write out this text message to Chris basically saying a complete lie, and that I have food poisoning and I can't get off the toilet. I'm about to hit send, and I like just have a word with myself, and I'm like, Stu, come on mate, just don't let this guy down, you know, you'll regret it, get there and do it. So I get to the event, the first speaker's up, he's flown in from America and he's so damn polished. You know, these speakers that have just done it for years, and he's up on stage and I'm like watching this guy and I'm like almost in awe in terms of his like confidence and his ability, and it's just making me feel worse. So I go up just before lunch actually, and I've got 90 minutes to talk to these people that have paid to be at this event. And I get up and my mouth just goes completely dry. And I start talking, and then because my mouth is so dry, I've got this lisp. And I'm like looking around and I'm looking at everyone, and then I can see a few people in the audience kind of laughing a little bit, and it just makes me even more nervous. I feel totally out of my depth. About half an hour in, I just sort of get on with it. And I kind of find my flow a little bit, and I sort of just talk about what I'm up to. Anyway, the point is that I get to the end of this, and then people start coming up to me at the break around lunch, and you know, they're saying, you know, Stu, that was really interesting. You know, thank you so much. You know, what's this workshop that you're offering? I'm, you know, really serious about learning how to start a business and everything else, and it's all going okay. But in my head, I'm just literally beating myself up. I'm like, you look stupid, you're an idiot, like, you know, you look so unrelaxed, and I'm not really listening to what people are saying to me because I'm just sort of self-critiquing. And then this guy comes over to me after I've kind of spoken to a lot of the people that have come over, and he's sweating, and he's got this button-up white shirt. It's kind of tucked in his work trousers, but a little bit hanging out. He's got, you know, marks on his trousers, like, I don't know, look like burger fat or something. I exaggerate not. And then he's got his black shoes on that could do a good damn polish. And I'm looking at him in his eyes, and he's like a bit bloodshot, and he just looked tired. He looked really tired, and he comes over and he says, hey Stuart, I just wanted to come over and thank you. I'm not going to be doing any workshops or anything. I'm absolutely broke. But he said, you know, listening to everything that you had to say, I want to tell you that this is the first time in 10 years that I feel that I have hope for a better life, a better future. And that is all he said. And when I go back to my car and I'm driving back, and it's really sort of playing over in my head, and I'm like thinking, I really want to help this guy. Like, I want to help him. You know, I didn't have his number or anything. I knew I was never going to see him again. But it ended up being that a really valuable lesson for me. And for me, it was that, look, all of this self-critiquing and all of this, you know, worried about what I look like on stage doesn't matter. What mattered is I gave it my best shot, and what mattered is that I gave this guy, even if it was just one guy, some hope. And so the reason I share that with you is ever since that day, in some way or another, I've been doing something to add value, do trainings. We've built a huge education company all around the world. But the thing that I'm most committed to, and this is something that you're going to find within our community, within all of the people that we're around, is that what we're most committed to is people finding their path, you know, a path that is a good fit for them. You know, Gallup recently did a report saying that over 85% of people, ready for it, hate their jobs. Hate. I mean, hate's a pretty damn strong word. And for me, it's like, that is not what life should be about. You know, if there is something I don't take for granted, look, let's be honest, it's easy when you get accustomed to things to take things for granted. But if there's one thing that I don't take for granted is when I wake up, I'm like in a really excited mood for the day. I'm like, I get to work on projects that I'm passionate about, that I choose for myself. I get to work with people and surround myself by people that are like-minded. And so for me, the thing that I want to have an impact in the next few days as you go through these on-demand workshops that you're going to have access to is, if there is one thing, is I want you to sort of really think and reflect, is in terms of, like, you know, your working life, the way you make money, your career, is it fulfilling to you? Are you passionate about it? Do you like the people that you're around? Because if you don't, I do suggest making it a damn big commitment of yours to make that shift, because so much of our life is our working life. And unless you're going to go out and win the lottery, or unless you're going to get lucky, which I wouldn't rely on that, then the chances are, you know, you're going to have to figure some things out for yourself. And so here's where I'm going with all this. You know, the truth is, most people have no idea about the opportunities that exist in today's world. Think about this for a minute. You know, I'm 36 years old, and when I was 16, that was the first time I ever got like access to the internet at home on a home computer. The internet is very new, relatively speaking, unless you're like 20, then it's kind of not so new. So it's been there all the time. But if you're like 40, 50, you know, the internet, relatively speaking, in today's society, world, it's still new, yet so many people think pre-internet. You know, this whole idea of that you have to get a job and work for somebody else and hopefully earn enough money to be able to retire healthy and put some savings away is a broken system for almost every person, not just from a financial level, but also from a fulfillment level, from a perspective of living your best life. So many people are watching the news and seeing the negativity and assuming that AI and technology and these big brands are taking over the world, yet there are more and more people realizing that actually we're luckier now than we ever have been. People are able to start businesses from their kitchen top tables, and businesses that they're passionate about, businesses that enable them to really live their best life and not be a part of the 85% of people who aren't passionate about what they do. And so what I've put together is a series of free on-demand workshops where I'm going to be hopefully just dropping insight after insight that's going to enable you to see so much of the opportunity that exists today, so that you can ignore all the news and the doom and the gloom and the other stuff that's out there and see the world for really what it is right now in terms of opportunity. If you're ready to start something that you're genuinely enthusiastic about, earn income around your interests, or profit from your passions even, it's all very possible, and it's possible in ways that have never been. So In the first on-demand workshop, I'm actually going to share with you exactly the business model that I got started with that enabled me to go from somebody who knew nothing about online business, who knew nothing about business, who actually was at a place of where I just failed with a traditional sales business, had got myself into debt, had no idea what I was going to do to get out of that other than sort of go back to a safe, secure job that I wasn't really interested in, and how I was able to not only pay off my debts, but leave my career in real estate and estate agency and actually do something that's genuinely fulfilling to me. From there, I then am going to take you into an on-demand workshop that is the second one, where I really get into how do you source and find products to sell if that's the type of business you want to be involved with. If you want to sell your own products and services, how do you go about that? Because a lot of people, again, think it's this sort of really complicated process when it really isn't. And in the third on-demand workshop, this is one of my favorites, I'm going to really be talking you through how do you really get started. You know, so many people these days are talking about the internet lifestyle, how the internet's changed their lives, how you can start businesses and all of that stuff. And trust me, it's incredible. But at the end of the day, not enough people are talking about the actual how. Like, how do you do it? How do you go from where you are right now to getting that first sale online? Where do you start? What's the process? How do you then go from that first sale to the second sale and scale beyond so that you actually realistically have something that's going to support you on a financial level? And then as you go through those workshops, what I think you're going to find is that you're going to gain nothing but clarity in terms of if you're really ready for this. You know, because that's the other thing. You can't give someone motivation. I can't give someone a work ethic. I can't tell somebody, you know, you can change your life. It really comes down to actually doing it, doing the work. I think these workshops are going to be inspirational. I think you're going to learn a lot from them. I think if anything, it's going to help you reflect on where you're at right now. And, you know, maybe it is time for you to consider a new path. Maybe you've got a great job, but it's just not giving you the freedom you want. Maybe you're tired of having a glass ceiling in terms of the amount of money you can make. Maybe you're just sick and tired of waking up sick and tired. You know, maybe you want to wake up excited, happy, you know, excited for the day ahead. And it's my hope, just like it was 9 years ago to this month, that all of this training and information, without you having to travel or go to a seminar, will give you that hope for a new path if that is what you're looking for. So anyway, thanks for coming through and joining us on this. I'm literally a couple of minutes away from where we're going to be setting up the room for the first on-demand workshop, which I'm actually going to be shooting later today. I'll see you very, very soon.